I'm Melissa from thetelevision.com, and I will be asking this wonderful cast some questions today. They're just making their way to the stage. If we could get a huge round of applause. I'll just go down the line and do some quick introductions in case you don't recognize any of these folks. Right here, you know him best as Trick. This is Rick Howland. And the girl who has some of the most memorable lines ever on the show, Kenzie. We've got Ksenia Solo. You know what they say, that every other show has a vampire and we've got a succubus? Here's ours, Anna Silk. And the wonderful human doctor who is exclusive to the Fae, Lauren. We've got Zoie Palmer. And, well, in my opinion, and I'm sure most of yours, our favorite shifter, Dyson, Kris Holden-Ried. And we know him as Detective Hale, aka the moderator, like the mediator between this little group of people a lot of the time, K.C. Collins. So I thought I'd get things kicked off with asking Anna a question. I'm ready. So Bo is a strong, sexy, kick-ass female heroine.
Yes.
What aspect of your character do you enjoy playing most of those?
Well, I like all of those aspects. I mean, who doesn't want to be strong and sexy and tough and cool and all of those things? But, I mean, what drew me to Bo in the first place was all of those kick-ass things, but I love her vulnerability. I love how, you know, she's scared a lot of the time, and despite that fear, she has to stand up and fight, and so, yeah, I like kind of her softer side.
Cool. And Ksenia, Kenzie has been pretty accepting of the world of the Fae since the very beginning, which pretty much wouldn't be typical for someone who's thrown into this. What do you think it is about Kenzie that doesn't make her think twice about just jumping into this world head on?
I think Kenzie was born fearless and very brave, and I think she would never think twice about anything for Bo because she loves her, and they have a bond that cannot be broken by anything. So I think she.
We'll see about that.
Really? Already? You see what we guys have to deal with? Yeah, so I think, you know, there's just not a doubt in her head she would do anything for Bo. So even when she is scared, that doesn't matter. She buries that feeling and just fights for it because the most important thing is to be with Bo.
Okay. And Zoie. This season, we really don't know much about Lauren at this point, besides the really important role she plays to the world of the Light Fae. Any chance that we might learn a little bit about how you got involved with them and why you're maybe have an allegiance to them or are perhaps indebted to them?
Yeah, I mean, I just would like to point out that I've strategically placed myself. We do learn a little bit more about Lauren this year and why she's sort of, or we start to sort of learn why she's sort of so indebted to the Ash and the Light Fae and how sort of the stakes are so high for her, and they are very high for her. So we explore that a lot this season.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Kris, Dyson's a pretty tough nut to crack, I'd say. He's a tough guy. He doesn't seem to appear to let people into his life easily, but he clearly has some pretty strong feelings for Bo. What is it about Bo that's able to chip away at that wall?
Well, beyond, the obvious beauty of Anna Silk, I think it's the innocence that her character had and the inherent goodness that Bo brings. She is the lost girl, and I think there's something in that Dyson, it really appeals to his inner nature of being a protector, and he, in that capacity, sort of goes a little further than he anticipated, maybe fell in love with it.
And,
Now you tell me?
I can't say these things on the show, come on.
So Rick, you're not just the owner of the Big Fae hangout in town on the show. I seem to suspect there's a lot more to Trick than we've seen so far. In the upcoming season, will we learn more about his role in Light Fae politics?
Yes. Yeah, there is a lot behind Trick, and he, it's the Dalriata, the bar, is not only a bar and a hangout for the Fae, but it's also a way station where all Fae have to sign in, light and dark. It's a place where both can hang out without having to, battle each other to the death or anything. And so that's a powerful place politically, and he has political savvy, but he likes to be a little more in the background than in the forefront anymore. So yeah. So and yes, you are. You are going to learn a lot more about Trick.
I haven't forgotten about you down there, K.C. Actually, I wanted to say, I think that your power is probably one of the coolest on the show. Tell us a little more about your siren power and how Hale uses it.
Okay. They like to play tricks on me, so I gotta make sure that this thing's on. All right. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate you thinking that it's one of the more unique powers. I agree. And, Hale basically uses it for many different things. There's obviously the women. I know most guys are looking at me like, damn. There's also, he can use it to bring someone to a place of tranquility. He can really use it. It's kind of in comparison to a singer. You can hear someone who brings you to a beautiful place, and you can hear someone that just makes you want to shoot yourself. It's just ridiculously annoying, and he can do those type of things, and he can also make it very directional. So, if someone is beside him that he doesn't want to affect, he can spare that person and just focus on his target. So, and there's actually, there's many other places that...
He can also knock you on your ass.
I can pretty much do whatever I want. I'm done.
This one's open to all of you, if all of you or some of you wanted to share your thoughts on it. What are your thoughts on how the Fae coexist with humans in this universe, and how the Light Fae and the Dark Fae also coexist?
I wouldn't say the Fae coexist with humans. I would say they kind of use them as a lunch bar or something.
It's not very fair, is it?
No, it's not. Although we do protect the ones that are important to us, and if they're bound to a Fae, then they're spared from the lunch menu. But yeah, for the most part, the Fae feed off humans, but also we have a changing system happening with Bo bringing the humans more into an equal part with the Fae.
I think sort of, as far as our story history goes, the Light Fae believe in living symbiotically with humanity, whereas the Dark Fae believe in dominating humanity and treating them more like a lunch bar, whereas the Light Fae try to have both societies grow at an equal sort of level so that everybody sort of benefits from it.
Still use us, though.
Of course.
Because
But we try to make it enjoyable.
because the less they know about us, the better.
Yeah, because really the Fae are hidden, and our plan is to remain hidden from the humans. So.
Now, toward the end of season 1, we saw the group become more like a team, like more of a team or a family dynamic. Will this kind of continue through season 2?
No. No, they had to really bribe us to just be in the same room today. So.
Ksenia Solo has become so difficult to work with that usually most of us are medicated to be in the same room.
Okay, that's totally not true, obviously. But we have become a team. For Bo, I mean, this was an instant family for her. You know, she met Kenzie and had this instant connection, this instant sisterly connection, and all her lovers that she's met, particularly these two. It's been an instant family. We did become a team. And we've kind of noticed it this season, you know, we kind of jumped right back into season 2 and kind of know when to come in, and it kind of gels together just like a family would, you know? So it's kind of, the same dynamic exists offset as onset.
Yeah, it's very much that.
No, I'm waiting for a joke from Zoe.
No. You're right. We're a gang. We're like a get-along gang. All of us.
We're like the Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, we're Scooby-Doo.
Scoobies.
By the
We
way,
even have a van.
I just have to tell you that Zoe's one of the funniest people to work with because
Ever.
she has this ability to make the funniest jokes ever and then just pull it all together for the scene. But of course, I can't stop laughing. So it's a lot of fun.
I'm very serious, though, in the show.
I know.
It's good to have that balance.
Yeah.
There's something that I'm curious about, and I'm sure a lot of the fans here today would like to know. Is there any key vocabulary that we should know, or stuff that you've had to learn and use regularly, or anything that maybe has come into your daily...
You should ask Rick. He has to say every bit of vocabulary.
There aren't any actually like full-on Fae terminology like dilithium crystals or anything. But we do have creatures every week, and
Most of the time we can't pronounce their names.
yeah, and there's during the reading of the episode we're usually going, and this is pronounced how? And then someone will take a stab at it, and somebody else will go, no, that can't do it. And eventually a writer says, no, you got to say it like this, and we do. And but it's a challenge actually to wrap my tongue anyway around some of those titles, some of those names. And then there's objects that these characters also use. They'd have what was that sword thing that came out of your hand that we used in the pilot?
The Siricon.
The Siricon. You know, like you see that written down, you go Siricon. Okay. All right.
We did make up a term for a Fae that has a baby, a Faby. And
Yeah.
vacation.
Yeah, there's a lot of human words that Ksenia or Kenzie comes up with that makes them from Fae terminology.
We try to use the word, like we usually pick a creature or something that comes from a human-based supernatural background or something from a different culture, and we try to use the pronunciation that culture would use for that creature. We also, for some of our Fae language, we use a mix between Irish, so Gaelic, or Welsh, that kind of, because we have a Welsh and an Irish actor on the show, so we sometimes borrow from those languages for some of our other things.
We had a character called the Lick, and that was a good time.
Yeah, self-explanatory.
Anna and Ksenia, I have to say the relationship between Bo and Kenzie is just probably one of the most refreshing on TV right now. I love this whole sense of sisterhood, that there's not the cattiness or the rivalry. Yes, you guys challenge each other, but when it comes down to it, she's the little sister you never had. What's it like for an actor to portray this strong dynamic, given the nature of the world that Lost Girl exists within?
Well, Ksenia and I mean, we get weepy when we talk about our relationships.
Really embarrassing.
Really, we're trying to get it. It's pretty embarrassing. You know, I think that, I mean, on the show, that was what was so great for Bo is that, you know, she met Kenzie, who's human, who saw what she is, saw what she can do, saw that she was this monster in Bo's eyes, and said, okay, you know, that's all right. What else you got, you know? And so instantly she stuck by her no matter what. And I think that's kind of what's so special about their relationship is that they just have each other's back, you know? And it was an instant family. They're definitely sisters. They definitely argue sometimes, but they would die for each other. Absolutely.
Which I think is very rare. My grandma used to say, if you can have just one true friend in life, you can die happy. And I think that's a dream for every person and every girl to have someone that, you know, would die for you and would do anything.
What does your grandma know?
And at our screen test together, we
met in a bathroom. And, you know, we just looked at each other under the ugly bathroom lights through the mirror, and we just thought,
if we could like each other in these lights,
then we're set.
This could work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very, 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 very special relationship. So it's fun. It adds so much emotion and depth. And I think Bo and Kenzie, because they have each other, they can kind of go off into this rather scary world and face anything because they know that they have that support, you know. So, yeah.
And Anna's favorite saying is, strangers are friends that you haven't met yet. Is that it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So she wants all of your phone
All your
numbers.
They make fun of me because that's something, I'm from New Brunswick, and that's something we
nice.
say there.
This one's for K.C. and also for Ksenia. Hale and Kenzie have a really unique relationship as well. They keep Bo and Dyson in check, and they also kind of keep the group in balance. What would you say is special about the Kenzie-Hale relationship?
Nothing.
No.
Just is what it is.
Best friend solidarity till the end.
Not for sure.
You want to go first?
That was it.
That was it?
Best friend solidarity.
Yeah, it's, I think we could just relate to each other a lot. I don't really consider myself a sidekick, just so you all know. It's not how Hale gets down.
Well, shit, then you're out of a job, yo.
But, you know, you know, I think we could just really relate to each other. We have a lot of fun. I mean, we kind of have, you know, for me.
All right, lay it out.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, you took a deep breath for that.
And I'm done.
Not really.
Yeah, no, you're done.
Anna, now that Bo has learned a little bit about who she is, there's still so many unanswered questions. Will her journey to continue to seek out more about herself continue?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that Bo is always going to be searching for. You know, she had this big question answered for her at the beginning of first season, but it opened the door to so many other questions. And first season was really about her search for her mother and that kind of background. And second season, Bo is definitely smarter this season. She's stronger. She knows that her actions have consequences, and she wants to protect the people around her. So it's more about protecting the family she has right here than it is about finding her roots. But, you know, there's definitely elements in second season where Bo is still searching. I mean, she's got a lot of questions, you know?
What do you think about this show that has resonated with such a diverse audience? I mean, as we can see here, it's not just young, it's not just old. That it's just such an awesomely diverse group of people that are watching this show. What is it about Lost Girl that has this kind of universal appeal?
Me.
You know, that show, and seeing you guys here now, I mean, the audience has really taken ownership of this show, and you are very vocal about what you like and what you don't like, and we love that. We love that you care about these characters and you care about these relationships, and I think that's what has drawn people to this show. So, that's my answer.
Yeah, I think the dynamic relationships really helps the show. I think that's what, pushes it forward, and everyone has, or most sci-fi shows have, characters with powers and this and that, but relationships are very important, and that's what works for our show.
Also, I feel like we have so many different aspects to the show. It's like you can never get bored. We have like such a mix of like everything. So if I had to like compare it to anything, I'd say like a little bit of CSI, a little bit of House, a little bit of like Secret Diary of a Call Girl. It has, so I think it's so fun. It's just so fun, but at the core of it, at the heart of it, are these amazing relationships that you really care about.
Yeah, and I think that too, like there's not a character that isn't dependent on another character. Like every character is really dependent on each other to sort of survive.
We had a guest director who came on, and he had watched all of the episodes, and the thing that really struck him about our show was the intuitive sort of way that we all work together. And he was like, he said that he sensed a friendship and a bond between all of us that transcends script, story, and he said that he thought that was the reason why we all.
Everyone really loves their own character. Everyone's brought so much to their own.
Yeah, but we really all love each other more. Tyson's alright, but he's nothing without Bo and Kenzie and Laura and K.C. and Rick.
Actually, I love my clothes more.
We have a lot of fun.
Casey Collins.
Like it's a good set. Like we have a ton of fun. We laugh a lot. I mean, you don't.
We also have a fantastic production department. Our production designer, Ian Brock, and our lighting, our cinematographer, David Green, create such a beautiful show to watch that, like, even when I'm sitting beside the monitor, I'm like, wow, I can't believe that they've made this look so good. We're sitting in a cardboard box, basically, and it looks beautiful.
Yeah. We walk around and we look at the sets, and we're like, wow.
Our production team is amazing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they're very talented.
You're all invited.
Later today.
What was the moment when all of you realized what a sensation Lost Girl had become? Was there a key?
Right now.
Look at this room! It's a packed house! Your faces are all over the city at the moment. I just saw one last night in a movie theater. There's promos before movies. What was the defining moment for each of you when you realized this was a force to be reckoned with?
Last year, and because I looking at the internet and stuff like that, and came across this article that said that Lost Girl was #9 out of the top 10 illegal downloads of last year. And I mentioned it to the producers, and they kind of smiled and said, yeah. And that's when, for me, it was like, wow. Like, I mean, it's airing on Showcase in Canada, and everyone else in the world is trying to get a little peek at it. And that blew my mind. And, the other shows were all American shows, and being Canadian actors, we're always, Canada is always living a little bit under the shadow and, of the States in the media world, because they've got so much more to produce and put out there. And for us to poke on through and get out there, I thought it was just fantastic. Blew my mind.
Can I take a second? Because you're all here. And I just want to congratulate Ksenia Solo for her Gemini nomination. Brilliant portrayal.
And that actually kind of leads into my next question. I was going to ask you, roles in science fiction and fantasy don't normally get acknowledged when it comes to awards season. Were you surprised when you heard that you were nominated for a Gemini?
I agree with you. Yeah, for some reason, sci-fi fantasy shows never get this kind of attention. So I was incredibly surprised and honored. And you know, as hallmarky as this sounds, I truly mean that. I don't feel like it's just my nomination or my award. I feel like it's such a team effort, and this cast is one of the most talented casts I've ever worked with. So I really feel like, you know, it says a lot about our cast as a whole and our producers and our writers in this show. So I'm very honored and very surprised.
Given the popularity of Lost Girl, do you find that you're recognized more often on the street? And what are some common reactions to when people realize who you are?
I hate your show.
Well, I'm going to turn this way so that you guys don't have to keep looking at the left side of my face. But, I actually had a situation. Well, it wasn't really a situation. It was great, actually. But I was at Wonderland. Probably I was in Splashworks. So I kept, you know, you can tell when people are looking at you and they're not quite sure, but then sometimes they are sure, but they don't want to come up to you. And I find that a lot in Canada, that people just, you know, they'll see you and they'll look at you and they'll inspect you, but they won't come up to you. And in the U.S., they're just like, hey man, yeah, I know you know, right up to you and, you know, you're great, or whatever, I hate you, whatever the case may be. But yeah, so I was in Splashworks. I felt very exposed when she came up to me. I had my swimming trunks on, and that was it. So
Which is a Speedo in Casey's case.
Yeah. So I hope that one doesn't make the internet. But yeah, and she came up to me and she was just like, you know, I love your show, and I just really didn't know what to say because I was half naked.
It was
I just kind of, you know, nodded and thank you, and try to find the nearest corner. Yeah, but it's great. Anyone else?
I love that that this show is Canadian, and I feel like Canadians are the best fans. And when people do come up to us, people are so wonderful and polite, and you know, it's always like such a
They say
nice...
sorry.
Sorry.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It's always a very nice experience.
I think I knew, you know, that the show had reached a certain level of success. I mean, Kris and I came to FanExpo last year, and we hadn't aired yet, so there was just some curiosity about it. You know, we were trying to say, please watch, please watch.
Just go at it.
But I think I knew, you know, people do recognize me on occasion, and the funniest moment, I think, for me, because I live in Los Angeles now, and I was in a cafe in Los Angeles, and there's all these celebs there, and someone recognized me. So I was like, wow, that's cool. You know, that's really cool.
And, sorry, go ahead.
No, for me, people still keep asking me when my next concert is, how Gwyneth is. Yeah, thank God they don't ask me to sing.
I generally, well, I used to get a lot of, hey, I know you. And now it's like, hey, you're Trick. It's usually in the grocery store for some reason. And I'm half naked, which I don't know.
He wears his Speedo to the grocery store.
Yeah, well, that way they know I'm not stealing anything. Yeah, everyone's going to come to my grocery store now, aren't you? Well, it's the Dominion, just south of Broadview and Denver. No, but it's great. I mean, and for me, it's, I don't know why, but it's guys who are like my older brother. They're like, you know, 5 or 10 years older than me, and they're like, hey, how's it going? I love your show. I've gotten my kids into it. I'm like, wow, really? It's just amazing. It blows my mind, and I love it. And then their kids go, you're watching that show without me? So now the whole family's watching the show, which is just perfect.
Good quality family entertainment.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's my kind of family. Anna, Zoe, Kris. You know what's coming, don't you? Anna, when we've spoken before, you've mentioned that Beau has 2 lovers. Can you guys share a little bit about this love triangle between Bo, Lauren, and Dyson?
Yeah,
Well,
Oh, no,
And the
no,
dynamic?
Can't we just sing "Torn Between Two Lovers"?
yeah, there's definitely a love triangle between the three of us.
Yeah.
And I mean, yes, there's a lot of great chemistry and heat and all of that stuff, and that's all that exists. That's real, you know. We all have really good chemistry, and but you know, Bo, she met Dyson. She trusts Dyson. She doesn't really know why at first, but she does. She trusts him, and it's the first time she's ever had, you know, a relationship, really. And then she meets Lauren, and there's a lot of attraction right away. For me, anyway. And you know, she trusts Lauren. It's the first time she's had relationships, and they're real relationships. You know, there's a lot of love that Bo has for both of
And
these.
in conclusion, there is love.
There's love. You know, it's what I love is they're real. They're real relationships, and that's important for us when we think about portraying these relationships. That they're real, that they're genuine, and that they resonate with people. And we think that we've achieved that.
And I think too, like what's been sort of something at the forefront for the writers and for us playing the parts is that the relationships were sort of equal in that, you know, it wasn't just like two chicks getting it on. That you know, which I hope you enjoy. but that, you know, there is a genuine sort of love for each other, as is, you know, between Dyson and Lauren. Who, by the way, are having an affair.
Season 3, tune in.
Thoughts?
Thoughts on the love triangle?
You know, there's just so much love on this show. Really, it's a love quadrangle, pentagon, hexagon. It just keeps getting bigger. Soon it's gonna be an octagon. You know. I mean, we're dealing with a succubus here, right? And she has certain needs. I'm an old wolf. I can't keep up all the time. I gotta share the love around.
What are you talking
And I'm neutered in season 2. I don't want to get all mushy here, guys.
Get mushy!
Yes, I love Bo / Anaphilic, okay? You know, originally the show was conceptually based with just, the love triangle wasn't going to exist. It was going to be about a bisexual succubus. And the producers wanted to bring in, Jay Firestone wanted a triangle for the obvious sort of dramatic storylines and tensions that you can build off of that. And season 1 season 1 was really sort of the beginning of it, and we got, you know, it was Lauren and Dyson were kind of head to head. And, you know, how do we fit this? We both had a lot of love for Bo, but we didn't have much for each other. And I think as season 2 starts going along, you know, there's more tendrils of emotion started going between the doc and I, and it really, I'm not going to blow anything here, so I should stop talking because you guys haven't seen season 2.
I haven't read that script yet.
September 4th, 9 p.m. showcase.
Yeah.
A week and a day.
I think we're allowed to say things get complicated, right?
Yeah,
Say
things
that.
definitely
Yeah.
continue along the complicated road, for sure.
Can I take a picture of you guys?
Everyone say cheese.
Hey, wait, go, cheese, or something. Cheese! Okay, yes. Well, there's so much coming this way, and I just thought it was only fair that one picture of you guys.
You're all going to get tagged in Facebook.
This is what she does when we try to work. Throws everything off and start goofing around. I'm gonna get fired soon.
I've got a question for you, Kris.
Oh no.
Dyson is somewhat of an enigmatic character, and you kind of touched on this a little bit already.
What does that word mean?
He's a mystery. He's shrouded in mystery. Are we going to learn more about your past in season 2? Without giving anything away, of course.
Without giving any away, well, I cannot do this without being a Scottish accent then, because, you know, you may or may not find out that he has his roots on a little island on the northwest part of Europe. I don't know if it's true or not. Yeah, absolutely find out more about that. I'm gonna stop with that Scottish stuff.
Yeah.
I love it, actually. When I get drunk, I start talking Scottish.
Get drunk. No.
Never, not right now, especially not on Saturday mornings. Yeah, absolutely. You find out a little bit more, and you know, we get to go into his past a little bit, and we're only halfway through the season, so I'm not quite sure how much more we get to explore that. But
what's been great about this season for us too is that we're shooting in order this season. Last season we shot out of order in terms of episode order. It was a little confusing for us. Kris and I would look at each other like, do we like each other in this episode? Do we not like each other? But this year we're shooting in order, so we are, you know, we get the scripts and unfold this story the same way that you guys will experience it. So it's fun for us. You know, we don't know what's going to happen in the next episode just yet, and that's exciting.
Anna, as a succubus, do you think it's a challenge for Beau to walk that line between love and lust all the time?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely a challenge. You know, Beau is a sexual being, a very sexual being. And, well, not very, very. She is. That's who and what she is. And so it is hard to walk that line. I mean, it's a fun power to have, I have to say. It's great to have guest stars come on, and I just have to sort of touch their cheek, and they're, you know, putty in my hands. But, yeah, it's a fun line to walk, I would say.
Now, the series looks to be physically demanding for actors. I'm guessing that it is a physically demanding show. What type of training do you guys receive, or type of preparation do you do for those action sequences and fight scenes?
I lift very heavy encyclopedias.
I lift very heavy hamburgers.
I do train a little. I did some cool training before this season. I got to train in this beautiful park in Los Angeles called Griffith Park, early in the morning with this martial artist. And it would be all foggy, and he'd come with his fighting sticks, and there would be coyotes running by. And I was like, wow, this is a pretty cool job I'm preparing for. So I did a little bit of martial arts training and just try to stay strong, because I do get my ass kicked a few times.
I carry a clipboard.
And a pen.
I don't know. I came from an athletic background, so I mean, all of those things helped me develop Dyson and his physicality and the way he carries himself. But I am getting old, as I'm sad to find out. And it's harder and harder to keep up. In fact, I injured myself on an
Men
episode a
get
little while
better
ago.
with age.
Thanks, babe.
That's my line.
Yeah, we may look better, but we don't function as well.
Make more noise.
Oh, Kris and I were texting each other before second season. He's like, are you in shape? I'm like, kinda, you know, are you? He's like, oh, not really. And then we get there, like the first episode, he takes off his shirt, and I'm like, I hate you. I hate you. I thought you were gonna be out of shape with me.
I have to give that all props to my mom. My mom has great genes. She had a six-pack without ever working out until she was 50. And then eventually, the McDonald's and Tim Hortons caught up with her. But yeah, that's for me.
I do a lot of lip exercises.
I had no idea what you meant. And then I was like,
We have some really amazing stunt guys we work with. We don't have a lot of time, you know, to learn the stunt choreography and stuff, but we try to do the best we can. So we have some really great people to show us how to look cool, and we just try really hard.
yes, and I have an amazing stunt double. She's very fit. Very, very fit.
Yeah, 'cause
Do you have a stunt double? I can't remember.
yes, you.
Yeah,
No.
he's 60.
Yeah.
And in better shape than me.
He is a good stunt guy, though. I did a fight with him recently, one little move, and I sort of picked him up, and he went flying, and I ran over like, oh my God, I mean, I'm so sorry. And he was like, you know, I did that. And I thought, wow, you are good, because I actually felt like I did that to you. You're good.
Of the creatures you guys have encountered so far on Lost Girl, which ones would you find the most frightening or the most fascinating?
Ooh, I like the, tell me if I'm
Kappa.
The Kappa, episode 3? Episode 3, the Kappa. He came out of the body of water. He had a chain around his neck, right? Yeah. That's I'll take that.
I loved
Left side, yes. I like that guy.
one of my favorite episodes from last year was the spider episode. I thought, what was that spider's name? The Digian?
Digian,
No,
yeah, Digian.
Digian. Yes, I remember.
I think I like the Martok. Is it the Martok? No, the Morag. The Morag in episode 8. And episode 8, as probably a lot of you know, was our original pilot. That's what we shot first. So that was my first big fight scene. She's drowning me in the bathtub. And she was this incredible stunt woman. That was a great fight, and she was scary. I thought she was really scary, really good.
I love Vex. I think Vex is
Yeah, no, it's,
And Paul Amos, who plays Vex, is incredible. He's such a talented actor. Yeah.
I think it'd be fun to be a mesmer.
Yes, it sure would.
Yeah, I was scared yesterday when we were shooting, but I can't tell you what the character was or anything like that. But when you watch it,
That
you'll
was
be
a
scared
radical-
too, man.
I was
Black
protected.
Dyson and Bo were there to save Trick's butt.
10,
That's
11.
No,
11.
we're shooting
11 right now.
Halfway.
Yeah, we're halfway.
Given how dark things can get at times in the series, there is a lot of humor worked into the stories. How important is it for you to have those light moments in the episodes, and also to have that injection of humor on the set as well?
If you're not laughing, you're not living. So I think it's very important to have, not too much, but a little bit of lightness and laughter, and it keeps a good contrast. And I know a lot of sci-fi shows end up being extremely dark.
So depressing.
Yeah, totally. It's totally depressing. And thank God we have Kenzie.
And I think, we play in this serious Fae world, but we don't always take ourselves or that world so seriously, and I think that's what is the nice balance that we have. I like the heavier moments though too, and then the humor is just, it's
I don't
really
understand
good.
what you're talking about. I take everything extreme.
Yeah, we're the straight men. So.
Yes, we are. For the skinny,
Lauren's
funny
hilarious.
guys.
Remember when you... Oh, wait. Oh, that's for this season. I can't talk about it. I'm sorry.
You'll see it soon.
Without really getting into any spoilers, I'd like each of you to tell us what we can expect in season 2, like in terms of the tone and stuff like that, without giving away any storylines, or what are we in store for? What should we brace ourselves for?
You want us to give you something without giving anything away.
A tease, so to say.
All right.
Do you guys want to reenact a scene or something?
You can expect...
Like the table.
You can expect the unexpected.
That's true.
I think people can expect a lot of what they loved about the first season. There's this whole mythological world that's still unfolding. And what was nice about the first season, it was a really good platform that we set up, learning about this world. Bo got to learn about this world along with the audience. And season 2 just gives us more of that. The relationships get more complicated. The politics get more complicated. And it's a little bit more of a dangerous world.
It's kind of coping with season 1. Right?
Yeah.
Like everyone's coping with what happened in the first 13 episodes for their own character. Right?
Yeah.
We're kind of dealing with that now.
get to learn a lot more. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I am.
You good?
I'm quick.
So you get to learn a lot more about the characters with regards to, you know, a little bit of backstory, just, you know, understanding where they come from, you know, what their thought process is, and damn, I hope I don't get fired for saying that. No, but that should be, yeah.
Yeah, I think Zoe said it pretty well, where the first few episodes were really dealing with what happened in season 1. And you've probably seen the ads about Something Wicked This Way Comes, or whatever, you know, she's got the box. Basically, season 2, something is coming that we're all going to have to unite together and deal with. Can't say what that is. In fact, some of us don't even know yet. But, well, you're the human doctor. You're always in the dark.
I think it's, you know, and it's something that Bo, you know, I think Bo doesn't even know her own strength and her own power yet. I think that's something to be realized in season 2, and I think that whatever is coming at her, I don't think she even knows if she's ready to deal with it yet. And me as the actor, I don't know yet either, because you know, like I said, we're getting the scripts as they're coming out. So, and they try to keep us a little bit in the dark about things.
We don't get
We try to sneak information, but
late at night, like 3 a.m.
well, we all have like one piece of information. If we come together and whisper about it, we get a whole story.